4 years ago, on election night, Oliver York, then a 15-year-old sophomore at a high school in San Francisco, sat at home brooding. More than half of all the San Francisco ballot measures directly affected young people like me, he recalls. But we had no say. York decided to try to change that. He solicited the help of San Francisco Youth Commission, a body of young leaders who advise city officials on youth issues. He organized meetings with the city school board, local officials, and state senators, and by January of 2015, he had launched a full-fledged campaign to fight for youth voter rights. 2 years later, York's efforts have resulted in Proposition F, which is an initiative that calls to lower the voting age to 16 for local elections. It has been endorsed by the likes of Congressmember Nancy Pelosi, State Senator Mark Leno, and the San Francisco School Board. And a recent poll indicated it has earned the support of 49% of voters, although it needs 51% to win. If the bill passes, it will make San Francisco the first major city in the United States to allow 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in local elections. And chances are, it would increase civic engagement among a demographic that is fully capable of choosing who ought to represent them. This is an excerpt from an article about lowering the voting age on the website Vox, amongst many other articles online about the same topic. The voting age has long been debated, so with this topic in mind, let's begin the podcast.
Welcome to the Difficult Lemon Difficult podcast. In this podcast, we will analyze approaching adulthood questions. In this case, we will be discussing whether or not age requirements should change.
Hi, we're your hosts, Eva
and Allie,
and we're both 8th graders at Emerson Junior High. It's a well-known fact that the average brain stops major development at around 25, and still, curiously, most drinking ages throughout all countries are below that age. In the USA, the legal age for drinking is 21, which is sort of controversial because some think that it encourages the abuse of alcohol, while others might think that it helps build maturity, and so that people can learn from their mistakes. However, opinions aside, 1 in 8 Americans are alcoholics. An extreme case is in Germany, at which the drinking age is 16, not to mention that beer is a big part of the culture in Germany. However, this has its side effects. Alcoholism is a significant problem in Germany, according to Peter Lang, head of drug prevention and abuse at the German Center for Health Education. Allie, do you think that the drinking age should be lowered or raised?
I don't think that the drinking age should be lowered or raised because people have most likely already participated in drinking alcohol at some point before this, so they should already know their limits and when to stop. Also, they should be aware of their past mistakes and know the consequences. Now on to the voting age. The voting age in the U.S. is 18. Again, a controversial topic. Many millennials these days are arguing that teens are underrepresented in our democracy and are very motivated to get their voices heard. A prime example is in the 2016 elections when the teens had a large way on the Clinton campaign. 55% of the U.S.'s 18 to 29-year-olds voted for Clinton, while only 37 voted for Trump. This has a lot to do with the fact that teens have a lot more media exposure and influence within their cellular life. What do you think about it, Eva?
I, again, don't think the age should be lowered, as many teens are heavily influenced by their parents' political views. Despite their limitless media exposure, most teens haven't had job experience, which would ultimately help them decide which presidential candidate would most benefit them as an individual. That's why 18 is the perfect voting age, because they are likely working or in college, so they are experiencing adulthood and therefore can make their own decisions about who they want as their representative. So to sum it all up, the age requirements in the USA are A-OK. Although some might still argue that the drinking ages should be raised, there's no real answer for that question.
Eva, it's so funny because at the beginning of this podcast, I thought this topic was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. But after this, it turned out to be difficult, lemon difficult.
That's right, Allie. Don't forget to check out our other non-existent videos, and you can find us at WeVideo, difficultlemondifficult.com. This is Allie and Eva, and thanks for listening.